We start today in Old San Juan, where regatta celebrations were back in full force. Residents packed the streets and boarded tall ships, all to celebrate 500 years of Old San Juan. Francis Felix takes us there.
The Capital Festival marks the celebration of the 500th anniversary of the Old San Juan. The Puerto Ricans have waited 30 years for this regatta that is full of gastronomical, sports, and cultural events. As you can see, the vessel Cisne Blanco from Brazil is arriving to the island.
This has been a tremendous experience for us. We just started to celebrate the 500-year anniversary of San Juan last September of last year. We have a fragata. We have 4 training ships visiting us from Colombia, from Mexico, from Brazil, and also from Uruguay.
And I think it's a good time of year to have it because it's the off season. We're kind of going into the off season right now, so double down. Yeah.
My first experience was in Regatta Colón. I was working with Cotisarc and that time, so I worked both Regatta Colón and 2000. I'm so happy to be here today and welcome all the Puerto Rican and the tourists to come back here and enjoy this day.
For the foodies, a gastronomic route will be established, and for the artisan lovers, more than 60 local artisans will be part of this celebration, showing art craft so beautiful like this. The organizers expect 30,000 persons at the celebration daily. At least 5 school ships will be anchored in the harbor from Mexico, Brazil, Uruguay, and Colombia. Also, regattas will be held between Cataño and Old San Juan. Reporting from Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks so much, Francis. In the meantime, the World Health Organization has declared the monkeypox outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. The decision comes as cases of the viral disease have been rising not only in the U.S., but all around the world. Cole Higgins has the latest.
The outbreak has continued to grow.
The World Health Organization announcing Saturday morning that the monkeypox outbreak is now a public health emergency of international concern. It's the highest alert level the WHO can declare, and it means that monkeypox has spread to the point where a coordinated international response may be required. The declaration comes after the WHO's second emergency committee on the issue on Thursday.
This is an outbreak that's concentrated among men who have sex with men. That means that this is an outbreak that can be stopped with the right strategies in the right groups.
Strategies like vaccinating vulnerable communities. As of Friday afternoon, the U.S. government has shipped nearly 300,000 monkeypox vaccines to states across the country and to U.S. territories, building on the 191,000 doses that were already available to states as of Wednesday.
More people are becoming aware and nervous about it, trying to get vaccines.
Right now, there are more than 16,800 probable or confirmed monkeypox cases reported in 74 countries, according to data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The U.S. is reporting more than 2,800 probable or confirmed cases in 46 states and jurisdictions. And the CDC has now identified 2 cases of monkeypox in children in the U.S. Because the virus can spread through contact with body fluids, respiratory droplets, skin-to-skin contact, and the touching of bedding or clothes, anyone is at risk of contracting the disease. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Now, currently, there are 2 ongoing public health emergencies: polio, which began in 2014, and COVID-19, which of course started in 2020. In the meantime, part 1 of a special report aired Monday morning on CBS this morning. It's a warning if you live or are traveling to Puerto Rico. David Begnaud visited the island of Culebra off of the main island to find out why that beach is struggling to save people from drowning. And the answer may shock you. Here's a preview.
They're not emergency official. They're just 2 drivers, basically. That's what they are.
So this is essentially like a taxi?
Yep. Basically a taxi that says ambulance.
Now, if you missed this morning's report, again, part 2 will air Tuesday morning on CBS Mornings. Well, switching gears now, of all natural disasters, the heat is the #1 killer. That's as tens of millions of people continue to face extreme temperatures. Experts urge you to be careful. Mandy Gaither has more on what the heat can do to your body and mind.
It's a heat wave of massive proportions.
It's much cooler down here when you get out here early. If you wait until about 12 o'clock, you can forget about it.
As temperatures rise, so do risk factors. The stifling heat can affect your body and mind.
The combination of high temperature and high humidity creates the right condition for a heat emergency.
Two of the most common heat-related conditions are heat stroke and heat exhaustion. With heat stroke, the body can't cool itself. A person with heat stroke may sweat profusely or not at all. They can become confused or pass out and could also have a seizure. Heat exhaustion happens when the body loses too much water or salt through excessive sweating. Symptoms include nausea, dizziness, irritability, thirst, headache, and elevated body temperature.
If somebody notices that in somebody that they're in the heat with, they need to take action right away and seek help.
Extreme high temperatures can also put significant strain on the heart or make breathing more difficult. Studies have shown that exposure to extreme heat can also contribute to mental health issues, problems for pregnant women, and poor birth outcomes. To stay safe, stay out of the heat as much as possible.
You just need to take frequent breaks, you need to hydrate, and you need to decrease the intensity of your workload or your workout.
Now, the elderly, children, and people with chronic diseases and mental health problems are at the highest risk of heat-related illness, along with people who take certain medications. That's all according to the CDC. Well, Gracielle Maxwell is now serving out her prison sentence in Florida. Yeah, she's been transferred to the Tallahassee Federal Correctional Institution, a low-security federal prison. If you remember, Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years last month for helping Jeffrey Epstein groom and sexually abuse underage girls. Epstein is the disgraced New York financier who moved in powerful circles with relationships to Britain's Prince Andrew and former presidents Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. He died in a Manhattan prison while awaiting trial.